Do you know you could have kidney disease and not even know it? 9 out of 10 people who have stage 3 chronic kidney disease do not know it. The rate of kidney failure for African Americans is 3 times higher than among Caucasians. And one reason for this is that they are not aware when they have earlier stages of kidney disease, at a time treatment could prevent the damage from progressing to the point when dialysis or kidney transplantation is necessary. In addition, due to high rates of diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, Blacks and African Americans have an increased risk of developing kidney failure. African Americans need to be aware of these risk factors and visit their doctor or clinic regularly to check their blood sugar, blood pressure, urine protein, and kidney function. Be aware. Get tested. The life you save may be your own. For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to a special broadcast of World Kidney News. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Good evening. Look, guys, again, if you was on the last broadcast of the Kidney Cookery, I want to apologize for the technical difficulty with Chef's old computer and phone. We have since got the problem resolved, and we are happy to say this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on World Kidney News, you will be able to see Chef O in rare form doing what he does. So tune in this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Kidney Cookery, myself, and Chef O. It's going to be a great show. So, yes, we have World Kidney News breaking news. We have Kidney Warrior and collaborator all the way from Los Angeles, California, LaMonte Reed in the house tonight. He has some breaking news he wants to share with the kidney community. So please share this broadcast. You all know LaMonte Reed out in California with Peak Performance and Conditioning, motivational speaker, chaplain, pastor. So without further ado, let me bring on Brother Lamont and give him the VIP treatment. Hey, what's going on, Lamont?
Hey, Steve, how you doing, man?
All right. Hey, let me ask you, how do you actually pronounce your name?
Actually, it's Lamont. The E is silent. Yeah,
Okay.
it's Lamont. Yeah,
Because sometimes I say Lamonte,
right.
Lamont, but it's Lamont.
It's Lamont. Yep, exactly.
Oh, man, what's going on? It's been a while since you've been on the show.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Just over here in Los Angeles, continuing to try to, grind in as far as work is concerned. With the COVID situation, it's very difficult to try to run a business like mine and that dealing with fitness. But I'm still able to do a lot of my coaching as far as, what I do for Redefine Living is to empower people, to help people become better versions of themselves, spirit, soul, and body. And so a lot of that's being done online, but just trying to still swim, man, sink to swim in this day and age. So I'm out
Right.
there swimming and trying to do my best.
Now, has the fire subsided out in California?
There's still a fire going on. It's been several fires, okay? So it hasn't been just one, it's been several. And one of them is still burning. It's a little bit a ways from me, but it had gotten so bad, man, that we hadn't really seen the sky for like maybe 10 days, close to 14 days. Did not see the sky. It was just totally ashes, overcast because of the smoke. It was something very, very bizarre and crazy that I've never seen before.
Now, what kind of impact does that have on your health being a transplant recipient?
Well, I mean, consider these things, right? So we're already in a COVID situation, okay, and we're at stay home, we're wearing masks. So then you add the element of smoke, right? Unhealthy air quality, very difficult to breathe, right? So literally, you could feel it, man, and it makes you very exhausted, makes you
Mm.
tired, wanna go to sleep. It was awful. Ashes was all over the car. So the impact just it kind of like almost was a double, if I may say, impact with what we're dealing with the COVID, and then you throw on the fires. Man, it was like something that again it was very trying and very difficult just to go about living and breathing and having a good sense of energy.
Wow, and I can imagine even trying to live some type of quality life.
Difficult. I mean, we really stayed in uh, for that. I mean, for that purpose also, because outside maneuvering around, you getting potentially breathing ash into your lungs,
Mm.
let alone dealing with a virus. Now you got to deal with the ash of the fires, and also the heat. It was very hot. Out here it was triple digits. So you're dealing with the heat, okay, hot. You're dealing with ash. The sun is not really shining. It looked like Chernobyl, man. Looked like something blew up, and we were just trying our best to live in that atmosphere. So it was tough.
Yeah, my prayers out to you for future, whatever may the outcome of that, man. Prayers with you,
Thank
thoughts
you,
and
thank you.
prayers. LaMonte, for a lot of people who may be watching the show tonight that didn't see the broadcast, which was probably last year that you came on, can you share briefly your journey with kidney disease and how you got here today doing what you're doing for the kidney disease community?
My journey with kidney disease started as early as 12 years old. So I woke up one morning and my feet were like, I call them elephant feet. It was like elephantitis. I literally could not walk. I had to crawl, out of my bed into my mother's room, and she seen me, and she immediately took me to the hospital. And when she took me to the hospital, they did a lot of biopsies, uh, and they found out that I had kidney disease. They originally diagnosed me with autoimmune or FSG, and that's how it all began. Started putting me on various medications and trying to figure out what happened, the history, and ultimately, I did not have an autoimmune. They didn't find that out till later. So the interesting thing is that the disease went dormant. They said it literally disappeared, and it came back when I got older. Okay, so I ended up going to the army, as you know, serving my country and everything. And
Thank you
then,
for your service.
thank you, sir, and thank you also. I know that you also served
Yeah, all
too.
right. Thank you.
And so it popped back up in my latter days of my life, and that's when I actually, I kind of crashed into dialysis. Of course, they were monitoring me annually, monitoring me, 6 months and 3 months and then monthly. And then one day when I went in to see my doctor, they was like, "Okay, it's time to put you on a machine." And so literally, I crashed into a dialysis right then and there, and remember being in the hospital in excruciating pain. And the first time I was on dialysis, the pain was like unbearable. Very, very painful, like cramping in my stomach. I ended up like kind of sitting in a fetal position. And that's where it really become it hit home. It became real. Then it was real. It was real when I was 12, but when I really hit home, when I really went on the machine, and that's where rubber met the road. So yeah.
Right. Wow. Now, when that happened to you as an adult, did it take you back to when you was a child? Did you automatically remember the problems you had as a child?
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember the problems that I had as a child. I remember, again, my feet being very swollen. There was my face, So imagine going to school, you know, entering into, junior high. You're already, I mean, high school as a freshman. You're already dealing with various hormones, right? Now you're going into school and you're taking various medication, tetracycline, things like that, and your face is round and big, and you got acne breaking out, and kids are wondering what's going on with you. You look different. And so that automatically took me back to that time and space where I was different, I looked different. And so then as an adult, basically the same thing, right? The edema kicked in, my face was very puffy, eyes were puffy, trying to maneuver into the real world, and feeling unhealthy, looking unhealthy, and people wondering, what's going on with Lamont. And me not yet at the point in time to be wasn't ready to be transparent about my life and what I was going through. So it was difficult, yes.
Hmm. Now, how long were you on dialysis before you got that call?
7 years to be exact.
Wow. Wait a minute. You were on dialysis 7 years.
Yes, yes. seven
How? What?
years.
Describe. I mean, what was some of those 7 years like? I mean, did you experience like some times where you like, man, I wish, I want to give up? Did it ever get to that point?
Actually, Steve, the first year was probably uh, physically and even mentally one of the hardest years. And the reason is because very much I literally almost died. Um, I mean, probably more than once. And I remember a time where they was experimenting with my medication, okay, because my blood pressure was so high. It was running like something like 200 over 190 over 100 and 120, crazy numbers, where in fact that I was getting up every morning about 3 a.m., rushing to urgent care so I could sit there for an hour, and they would give me clonidine to bring my blood pressure down. And they couldn't understand, they couldn't figure out why is my blood pressure so high. And so that was a continual process. I didn't have any headaches, but yet I wasn't able to sleep. And so that was very difficult. Still had a business, still had to try to make it financially, to try to continue to take care of my kids. And I remember one time, because I was still exercising, I remember one time when it really got bad, I woke up and I went on a run and I realized I couldn't breathe. And I didn't get too far. I remember it wasn't even half a mile, probably 800 meters. And I couldn't breathe. I said, man, something is wrong. Why I can't breathe? Why I couldn't breathe? And ultimately, I couldn't even sleep because I couldn't breathe. And I couldn't lay on my back because I couldn't breathe. So I went to the hospital and they said I was having congestive heart failure. And once that kicked in, man, it was devastating. I couldn't believe, like, what do you mean congestive heart failure? I was fit, but yet I was feeling bad, couldn't breathe, having a very difficult time, and so that became really really real during that time.
Hmm. Now, so 7 years, did you go through depression and anxiety after the first year? Or at what point did you accept it and it was like, okay, I want to do this and I want to get on the transplant list and I want to turn this around?
You know, I think I accepted it pretty much immediately. I had a lot of family members who are nurses who are in my family. And this is what I accepted, and this is what I did not accept. So once I got on, they began to tell me that my life expectancy was very, very brief. I mean,
Mm.
they said something like, your life expectancy is like 5 years or something like that.
They actually told you that?
Yeah, yeah, man. They said your life expectancy is very brief. And I said, what?
How did you feel when they told you that?
Steve, honestly, as a man of faith, I've been having faith all my life. When they told me um, that was something I could not agree with. There was something I could not accept. There was something that it did not resonate within my mindset, within my heart. And so I didn't outwardly say anything, but inwardly I said, nah, not me. Not me. I'm gonna do something about this. I'm gonna turn this thing around. In fact, I said I purposed in my heart that I would not allow these so-called numbers, these so-called statistics, let that be my lot in life. And so from that point on, because I knew I was facing this potential death, man. My level of advocacy, my level of desire to push it, to learn, to grow, in fact, to live, became so prevalent in my life that I began to just turn up the notch, man. And so, yeah, and what had affected me more was not so much me; it was what my family had heard. Okay, so my family had heard that, man, some of them begin to feel down and saddened. They're like, oh
Mm.
no, not him, not you. Oh no. And I was actually at some point trying to comfort them. And so that was the hardest part. Some of my family
Mm.
members thinking that I wasn't going to be around too much longer. So that part was hard for me.
And see, that's the thing, Lamont. These statistics and the information that gets out there, and if people don't know, like you said, you had nurses in your family, but what about somebody who didn't, and the doctor gave them that type of information, and maybe mentally they couldn't take it, and they decided, if I'm going to die within so many years, I might as well go out with a bang or something like that. I mean, you just don't know people's mindset when they get medical information like that. So
Yeah, I met someone
wow.
like that. I met a younger guy, and he was talking about what he had went through, and he literally he gave up. He sabotaged himself. He
Mm.
had no desire to want to live, and interesting enough, um, he was drinking. He said, "Look, he started drinking and everything, and he literally sabotaged himself. And fortunately, he did not die. He got another crack at life, meaning that he had another opportunity. And I think, interesting enough, on the second time around, it clicked for him. But me listening to him and him sharing with me, and sometimes that's what happens. He didn't have a lot of support, right? But the fact that he had gotten so far and sabotaging, and then it really hit home that it began to change him personally to want to do better. And it's difficult if you don't have that support. I've been fortunate to have support. I know a lot of people that hadn't had support, and so it can be very difficult, very hopeless, very despondent when you don't have people in your corner. So I totally understand that.
Absolutely. Now, Lamont, take us to the day your life changed, far
Um,
as with the transplant. That call, set up the moment. Were you at dialysis? Were you working out? Were you out with your family? How did that
okay,
call come in?
okay. So interesting enough, I just had my 3-year anniversary in September. So this is what happened. Um, I had a call previously, so this was not my first call. Okay, so the first call I received, they called me. I was just out and about, probably transitioning, dropping my daughter off to school. Got a call. Got the call. They sent me to Portland because I was getting my transplant from Portland. Sent me all the way to Portland. Got there. It fell through. Didn't work. Okay. Sent me back. Said, hey, things like that happen. Then I get a second call. Pretty much the same thing happened. A second call. Didn't work. So then I got the third call, and this is very amazing. Okay. The third call, they called me. They said, happy birthday, Lamont. We have a kidney for you. Literally on my birthday, they called me. And I was like, I wasn't excited. I wasn't like, because I had already had 2 calls. And they were like, no, this is serious. This is real. And I said, oh, okay. All right, well, let's see. And so it didn't hit home. And then ultimately they said, okay, well, this looks like it's going to work. They sent me to Portland. I was talking to my daughter, talking to my wife. And I remember my daughter saying, Dad, 3 times is a charm, right? So I was actually driving to pick her up from school and told her. And then I had my stuff already packed and got me all prepared, and I was ready to go. My wife and my daughter took me to the airport, and my wife would come later. And so when I got there, taking me to the hospital, then it got real. Then I said, "Oh, this is really getting ready to happen, right?" So it became very, very exciting at the time. They said this is going to work. It's going to follow through, and that was an amazing thing because 2 calls prior, didn't get it. The third call, I got it. And in fact, it was on the third, it was on my birthday, which was September the 3rd, that I got the third call. And that's amazing. And that's even more to the story. So I was very excited about that.
Mm-hmm. How many years have you had your transplant?
3 years. 3
Oh,
years.
okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that is great. Before I move on, I would just like to send out prayers and ask people watching to send out prayers to kidney warriors and families in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi on Hurricane Delta.
Hmm.
And one person I know in specific that's in Louisiana that I'm sending special prayers for and asking everyone else to is Miss Kathy Kennedy, Kathy Cumella Kennedy. I hope you're well and safe down in Louisiana, and you're definitely in my thoughts and prayers, and I love you, and stay safe, and God bless you. LaMonte, 3 years. When did you decide to go in and start doing exercising and doing what you're doing now, peak performance and conditioning?
Okay. So my business started prior to kidney disease. So I had been exercising a great portion of my life. And like, as I said before, I was a veteran. So I started exercising like when I was 18 years old. I went in right after high school. So I had been exercising all that time. And I had a passion and desire to do so. And then I became an independent contractor and I opened up my business in 2007. So I had already been exercising prior to it. I exercised all the way through dialysis, which I know is a challenge. And
Oh,
then
so you was working out and going to dialysis for 7 years.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Wow. I
yeah,
mean, the other patients that seen that or staff, did they like, how do you do this?
yeah, yeah. That was always the question. It was like I was some type of anomaly or something because they had never really seen patients like myself, able to go to dialysis 3 times a week, 3 hours and 45 minutes at time, and then yet exercise at the same time, still had a consistent regimen. I did have to change it, of course. I wasn't able to do everything I had in the beginning, but I was still able to do so. And also at the time, I was working out very intensely. I know I was doing CrossFit. And so I was really putting my body through the ringer as far as fitness and exercise is concerned. And so that made me also, I think, a little bit more mentally prepared, mentally tough. I like to say that the dialysis machine is like an intense workout, right? Because, that thing is spinning, man, and they sucking, you know, the
The
blood
blood
coming, the
from your
catheter,
heart, right?
yeah, through the heart. And so I had already been working out hard like that, where I began to get my heart rate up, where my heart was pounding hard, it was beating hard. And I think it really prepared me to be on the machine because I feel like my body treated dialysis like it was a workout. Okay. Not that I didn't have issues where my blood pressure dropped, you know, even as I was being fit. I had times where my blood pressure dropped, man. You know how it is. They
Sure.
got to incline your feet, start giving you that saline. Uh, but yet and still, I think it really helped me out to still remain mentally tough and to remain physically fit during this time.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, let me ask you this, Lamont, and then we'll get into your announcement. Um, as a when you was on dialysis
Hmm.
and when you exercise, of course, with the permission of your physician, um, how did that make you feel? And the reason why I asked that because for maybe some kidney warriors who's watching this show who maybe never thought about exercise and having this disease because they feel like they can't.
Hmm.
Describe the benefits that you got from exercising and being on dialysis.
Steve, it was so many benefits for me to be able to exercise while I've been on dialysis. One of the first things it did was it gave me a sense of control still, right? It gave me a sense of I still have some power over my life. And that's important when you begin to lose almost everything when you're on dialysis, right? So to have a sense of control over my life through exercise, it was motivating for me. It gave me hope. It let me know that even in spite of what they're saying, I need to redefine my living. Okay, and that's what I do for coaching. It's called redefine my living. And so I had the exercise gave me opportunity to rethink how I'm going to handle this, rethink how I'm going to deal with this. And this was a mental part. So that became very empowering for me. It encouraged me. It motivated me. It made me feel good that I could do it. It made me feel good, even mentally, that I was doing it. And see, exercise also releases endorphins in the brain, the body in motion, right? It gives you energy when your body begins to move, and it makes you have a different outlook about life. And so that helped me a lot. And it also has a sense of resilience. Okay, when you're out there working out, it makes you a little bit more, for me, resilient to the opposition, because exercise is what we call resistance training. Okay, and so when we're adding resistance, it's literally making us stronger, not only physically, but it made me mentally stronger. And I would say that was the most important part: the mental strongness, the mental resilience, the mental toughness, because we know that one of the biggest things with kidney disease is hopelessness, disparity, despondency. So the exercise really helped me to combat and fight that, and made me want to live, and made me want to continue to move on with my life. That was very vital.
But not only that, Lamont, I'm sitting here listening to you. If one is on, say, the transplant list, right? And instead of just sitting home and waiting for the call or something like that, if they worked out, wouldn't that be beneficial to the heart and just preparing them so when the transplant do come, their body be in physical shape to accept
Yeah,
that kidney?
yeah, that was very premier in doing so, because they want you to be in shape. To be a good candidate, to be able to get a kidney, you have to be in good shape, right? And so that's motivating. That was motivating to me. Look, I want to feel better. I want to live a higher quality of life, the best life I can. So I needed to exercise that gave me the best potential chances. It wasn't something that was a slam dunk, but it gave me the best potential chance to get a transplant. And so, yeah, exercise and strengthening my heart allowed me to be more fit, deal with my body fat, and deal with my strength, having a sense of muscle mass, because dialysis is very, very difficult. It wears you down. And also, it gave me energy. Coming off the machine, people always marvel, like, how are you able to exercise, right? Because the exercise gave me energy. And I know for some people, originally, it doesn't feel good. They feel even more tired. And the reason why is because it's a transition. It's new. Okay. Anything you try that's new, you're not always going to feel the immediate effect. But after you begin to do it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then you begin to feel the effect of feeling better. Then you begin to feel the effect of feeling stronger and feeling happier, and feeling like you said, I'm not just sitting around waiting for something to happen. I'm going to be proactive as opposed to reactive. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be proactive and not reactive. And so when I was proactive, that gave me a sense of, hey, I have a little bit of charge over my life. And it's not just in the hands of the doctors, the medication, dialysis machine, that I have a role and I have a purpose. And that alone allowed me to be motivated, to help me to be fit physically, mentally, and even spiritually.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Just to piggyback, like Alexandra Garland, the mountain biker, he's down in Augusta, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Kidney warrior. This guy beast. This brother do 4 hours of dialysis, get on his bike, and be burning up
Yeah.
the road, you know, going obstacle courses or just
Mm-hmm.
riding his bike, man, because
Yeah.
that's what he loves to do. He even go bike ride before he go to dialysis.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So,
amazing.
anybody know about Alexandra Garland, the mountain biker, check him out. He does vlogs about his ride throughout Augusta. Very, very inspirational. So,
Yeah.
Lamont, let's get to the big news. I know your time. You know you've been a busy guy, and so what's going on with you with the breaking news?
Well, Steve, it's been overdue, And for me, it's really time to really begin to engage, empower, impact the kidney community. So we decided to join teams, and we're going to do something regularly, or I can come on the show a couple of times a month at least to give back some of the things that I've learned, whether it be spiritual, whether it be mental, whether it be physical. We're going to redefine renal disease. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what I want to encourage people. We have to redefine renal disease. We can't let this disease define who we are. We have to be proactive to redefine it. And so I'm excited to be a part of this community even more. I've been a part of it for years, but now to be able to give back some of my secrets, some of the things that I actually done, some of the things I still do, I still practice to allow me to have a high quality of life. And so that's what I'm excited about, being able to interact with others, engage others, and people ask me questions, give them the information, give them not only information, but transformational information that actually will change your life. It will impact your life. And that's why I call myself a personal impact coach, because my desire and goal is to have an impact and impression on your life so much where you're able to change the game in your mental, your spiritual, your physical, even your financial life. You can do that. And I'm no different. I've done it. And so I'm an example to let you guys know if I've done it, you can do it too. I'm no better than anybody out there. There's just some various things that I've done, some principles that I applied to allow me to still work, to still have a business, still be happy, to still just really be able to live a high quality of life. And so I want to give that to the community and have them to be able to ask me whatever, but give this information freely given to me. I freely give. So that's what I'm excited about,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the show?
It's redefine renal disease.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what is the show going to be about?
Well, I kind of just shared a little bit about it. It's going to be about redefining our renal disease, spirit, soul, and body. And so we're going to deal with that immaterial part of who we are as a person. Like you can see me as a person physically, but what's going on inside of me? What's going on in my heart? What's going on in my mindset? Okay. Those are the pillars of being able to redefine uh, renal disease. Those are very fundamental principles because it all happens on the inside. It all happens not on the surface, but underneath the surface. And when we can deal with that first, right, even just being able to focus, okay, that's a very important thing. Dealing with, the way I think, as a man thinketh, so is he. Okay,
Mm,
our thoughts, okay, determine our actions. And so if our thought life is very challenging, if our thought life is negative, then we're going to live a negative life. But if our thought life begins to be more positive, and it takes time, it's not some a mystical thing where all of a sudden, bam, it clicks, but it takes daily things that we do, affirmations, encouraging yourself, reading books, confessing things out loud, right? Because there's the power of life and death is in the tongue, right? If you speak it
mm.
out there, if you speak negativity out there, if you speak defeat, then you're going to get defeat reciprocated to you. So those are other things we're going to deal with the mindset, how to master the mindset. And then the last thing is dealing with the physical body. How can I get this physical body to change in any condition that I am? Look, Steve, I've even trained people. There wasn't dialysis patients, but I've trained people who are quadriplegics and paraplegics, right?
Mm.
And it was just a matter of really not so much uh, them able to walk again, but them able to move again. Them able to not only move their body, but get their mind moving. And so I've helped people who could not walk use their arms. Just using your arms all by itself is going to get your heart rate up. And so I want to deal with things that are appears to be very difficult, appears to be challenging, appears to be hopeless, but we're going to redefine that. And when we redefine that, then we get to define our life. We get to determine how we're going to live. We get to do our best. As much as it depends upon us, we're able to determine that and do our level best, and we just let the chips fall where they fall. And
Oh
that's what I want to do.
man,
That's what I've done. I want to give that back to everybody
and
else.
looking forward to this. So let me ask you this. So let's say if I just got diagnosed and I'm on dialysis and I'm like hating life and not going to treatment, I can't believe this. And, I'm going through all the stages of grief. And what do I do? Like, if I'm at a point where you may be talking and I don't want to hear the stuff that you're talking about because I'm so pissed off that my life has changed. How do you
Right.
reach a person like that?
For a person like that, one of the best things you can do is just listen. You know, listen to them, empathize with them, you know, feel their pain, be with them where they are at that moment, and really hear them. People want to be heard, okay? And once they're heard, and once you can relate to them, see, we can relate to other patients like that. And when we can relate to them, when we can empathize with them, right? And when we begin to connect with them, see, what people are really looking for is someone who really can empathize. And when you can connect with them, so the first thing is, let me connect with the person so we can build some trust, because often we're not getting that from the doctors, we're not getting that from the nurses, we're not getting that from the clinicians, we're not even getting that from our family, right? So my main thing is to really hear the person. Don't try to automatically get them to change their mind immediately or anything like that. Just empathize with them. Grieve with them. Okay, sometimes we have to grieve with them, feel feel their feeling, be empathetic towards what they're going through, and say, yes, I totally understand, I can relate, and I understand that it's difficult. And let them know that you're there, you're really there with them. You're not checked out somewhere, you're not just saying this, you're really there, and give them an opportunity. Hey, you think it'll be okay if we maybe follow up tomorrow? And just let's just talk. I'm there for you to talk, and you can share, open up their heart, right? Let them vent, okay? And so it has to start at very little baby steps. And when people are realizing they're being heard, when people are realizing that you're able to connect with them, right? Because that means major, big time, when you can make a connection. When you cannot connect with the person, then the person will not be willing to open up. And then have some transparency. One of the things I do is I'm transparent, meaning I share the deep things, the difficult things, the challenging things, so they can know, oh, you've dealt with that too. Oh, your blood pressure was up high. Oh, you feel so dehydrated that because you couldn't drink a lot of water. Oh, you had those sleepless nights. So when you begin to be transparent, then people are willing to open up. Then you can help. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think, how I've used it in a way to help others.
Mm-hmm. Wow. One question I wanted to ask from Mrs. Gloria Mongo, which I thought was an interesting question. She definitely has some great questions. But she wanted to know, when you worked out and was going to dialysis, how did that affect your creatinine level?
Okay, so that is a great question, Gloria. I'm glad you asked that. So my creatinine was already high, okay? And when you have muscle mass, it's very high. So here's the thing, great question. I was on a machine, and I remember my blood work was very difficult. It was very high, and I kept saying, "Wait, what's going on? I work out, I do this, I do that. Why is my urea? Why is everything coming back so high?" And because I'm supposed to be the fit guy, well, other people's was lower than mine. And then I realized that when you exercising, remember you're breaking down muscle, uh, toxins and stuff, right? And so that's why my blood work was still high. So they give you the dialyzer based on your height, based on your weight, and various things like that. Well, here's the kicker: they gave me a smaller dialyzer to dialyze me with. Okay, it was small because based on my weight and my height, but because I was working out, I needed a bigger one. I needed the one that was bigger, um, as someone who was a lot bigger than me. And so when they gave me and so I had to be proactive. I had to research because I said something is not right. I had to look into it more and more, and I figured it out. I need a bigger dialyzer, right? So my doctor said, of course. They gave me a bigger one. And basically what happened, it shifted my blood work, changed everything, and my numbers were just off the charts. Meaning they were really great because of that various reason. Because yes, your creatinine do go up high, but you need a bigger dialyzer
Right,
if you want to
right.
work out. And most people are not able to. I figured that out. The doctors didn't even figure it out.
Wow.
And I figured it out. And I said, hey, my doctor was always connected with me. He says, well, let's give it a try. And he gave me one. Immediately, boom, the numbers was changed just like that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome, man. I can't wait for your show to start. I so can't wait for it. Before we go, LaMonte, just share with the audience your experience of what you do. I know you're a fitness coach, pastor, chaplain. Can you just share some of your experience?
Yeah. So definitely, I'm a fitness coach. I'm also a life coach, which I call an impact coach. I'm very spiritual. I'm a minister, and I advocate. So these are some of the things that I do. Um, I've always been a person with a half full mentality, and so it's always been my desire to empower, to inspire, and so in my coaching, whether it be physical coaching, I inspire people to get their body changed. In my impact coaching, I use a lot of different things. One of the things I use is you gave the example when people lose hope, when they begin to not believe, I help them to understand what is your limiting beliefs. There's something that's limiting your beliefs that's not allowing you to go forth. And we go a little deeper. And we go a little deeper when people begin to state what's preventing that, we get to the root of what's the main issue. And when we get to the root of it, we deal with things about who they are, who they think they are, who's they, what their identity is. A lot of what we do is wrapped up in who we think we are, who we believe we are, and what our identity is. Okay, so when we begin to deal with identity, people usually share with me what type of person they are, not what you see, but who you are on the inside. They begin to say, I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm courageous, and various things like that. So if that's who you are, then sometime when we're not living up to that, there's some blockage. There's some blockage in the way that allow us to not live up to who we say we are. So we begin to be in an identity crisis. And that happens in dialysis. You begin not to behave, not to act like who you were before because the crisis becomes dialysis. So I work through that through people to help them to live out who they say they are, who they believe they are. And then on the spiritual aspect, it's really just spending some time to be able to meditate, to pray. If you believe in something bigger than you, my thing is I've always believed there's something bigger than me, greater than me. I believe in God. And so that was a game changer for me also, because look, we're not only physical bodies, we're immaterial bodies. And who you see right now physically, you're only seeing the physical LaMonte, but you don't see the immaterial LaMonte. You don't see the person who's on the inside. And that's the person I began to address, that immaterial part, to help us and help me to be able to do some things, to redefine, do some things that you didn't think you can do. I didn't think I could do this, but because I tapped in to that immaterial part, I tapped into that wellness, to be well on the inside, that will definitely change the outside. And so those are just some of the things that I do in all elements to be able to help people physically, help people mentally, and to help them spiritually, because that's what you are. You are a spirit, you are a soul, and you are a body. And you have emotions also connected to all that.
Wow. Wow, man. I'm sitting here soaking that in, man. I ain't going to lie to you.
Right.
Wow. I done learned something just listening to you, share what you just shared. So, man, I can't wait to the 26th. That's the first show,
Yes.
October 26th at 8 p.m. That's a Monday.
Yes. Start the week. Start off the week running, man. Monday, I call it Motivation Monday, Mindset Monday, Mindset Mastery. Beginning of the week, how you start your day is very important. How your day uh, will end up, and sometimes we don't start the day well. To start the day well is very important. I've always learned that. That goes all the way back to being in the military. You know that. Bright and
Mm-hmm.
shine. Try to get up and start your day well to allow the rest of your day to end up well.
That's awesome. So, man, you know, as executive director of Urban Health Outreach Media, I just, like to say, man, I'm looking forward to this collaboration. Uh, I mean, it's, I've seen you on Facebook for years, man, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I'll be the first to say it. I guess it's been maybe 3 years or something like that when I first
Yeah.
saw you. I'll be honest, I was a little envy, even though, you're a transplant recipient, but I guess I was envy on the part because you was doing the damn thing. You know, your videos, your training center, you out California.
Right. Right.
You just had that, and a lot of times people, when they see other people doing something, they
Hmm.
just see the outside, but they
Right.
don't know what it took to get to that point. And
Yes.
that's what I, had to realize. And man, I'm just glad that God crossed our paths so
Yes.
we can, collaborate to get content out for kidney warriors to, like you say, live a high quality life. Because if you can do it, it can be done. You was on 7 years. You're not
Right.
saying that things don't happen, but for the most part, a person can live a great quality life in spite of being on dialysis if they did certain things to change their mindset and include uh, exercise and conditioning into this factor.
Yes, Steve. And I'm glad you mentioned that because sometimes we see people and we think that everything is gravy and they got there, but it does take work. It was difficult, and it can be done. And so I want to be able to share those very principles, the very things that I did, and often all we need to do, and even in my life, you model after someone else, right? Tonight, the NBA finals are on, if I'm not mistaken, right? But think about what Kobe did. Any basketball fans, Kobe Bryant modeled Michael Jordan. He did everything that Michael Jordan did. He followed every step, watched every video, and he became like Mike, right? And so that's all the things I've ever done in my education and becoming a coach and in my spiritual life is find someone, a mentor. Okay, you can look at me as a mentor and someone that I can follow suit to success the way they've done it. And that's all we are seeing in life right now. And that's the biggest thing. We got to be able to trust and be able to just follow. And if things might not always work 100%, and that's okay. You just take what you can from that person and then you modify, you build upon it, and then you create your own originality to what you learned from that individual. And that's all I want to do. I want to give you what I've learned, model it, tweak it, change it, make it your own, and then give back to somebody else.
Wow. Awesome. So, any parting words before we end the show?
My parting words is this is first of all, I appreciate you allowing me to be here. I appreciate your openness and the conversations we had over the phone, your desires, me seeing you around all the time was very inspirational to me. You grinding also, so I want to thank you for that. And then I just want to thank the community of patients out there who are doing their level best to live a high quality of life. I want to applaud you. I want to encourage you. I want to let you know this is not it. It's not over yet. There's more to it. You can make it. You can take it. And so I just want you guys to tune in, whether it be to my show or somebody else's show, get the necessary help, make the necessary steps, do the necessary things because it's imperative. It has to be done in order to live the quality of life that you can live. And I've done it, and I was able to do it. And if I could do it, you can do it too. So you guys have a blessed rest of your night.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, LaMonte, man, thank you so much, brother, for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you said the game is on tonight, so I'm sure you're gonna take a look at that. But man,
Right.
thank you again for stopping by, sharing that breaking news, and we'll be in touch. And I can't wait till the 26th of October, Monday, October the 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, redefining kidney disease.
Redefining renal disease.
Oh, okay. Redefining renal disease. Awesome,
Yeah.
man. All right, man. So take it easy. Stay safe out there in California, man. And stay healthy.
All right, you guys. Hey, have a great night, Steve. And thank you again.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye. Guys, I'm telling you, this was a great show. I can't wait to host Redefining renal disease. And let me tell you something. LaMonte talked about finding someone to model after. Let me just tell you several people who I model after. You may want to check them out or Google them. Gary V, Les Brown, who's the other guy? Gary V, Tom Bailu, Eric Thomas, what's his name? Evans, Tony Robbins. I mean, a lot of the motivational guys out there, Billy Osbrook. I mean, you just gotta, turn your mindset around. Not what you gotta do, even with myself. Even when I go through issues, when I have my eye issues and starting to get eye issues again. Cataract starting to take over my left eye. So, I mean, that's going to have to head to surgery, but I can't think about that right now. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoyed LaMonte Reed and look forward to his show, Redefining Renal Disease, Monday, October 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, this Sunday, 9 p.m., we will be rebroadcasting live the Kidney Cookery, which was scheduled for tonight, but we ran into technical difficulties. Tune in to Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as Chef O will be on the Kidney Cookery. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. Miss Gloria, Candy, who else joined? Shalina, Leslie. Thank you guys for watching. Kathy, Angela. Wow. Great show. Thank you guys. We see you Sunday. Have a great Friday night. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay encouraged. We see you guys soon. God bless.
Do you know you could have kidney disease and not even know it? 9 out of 10 people who have stage 3 chronic kidney disease do not know it. The rate of kidney failure for African Americans is 3 times higher than among Caucasians. And one reason for this is that they are not aware when they have earlier stages of kidney disease, at a time treatment could prevent the damage from progressing to the point when dialysis or kidney transplantation is necessary. In addition, due to high rates of diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, Blacks and African Americans have an increased risk of developing kidney failure. African Americans need to be aware of these risk factors and visit their doctor or clinic regularly to check their blood sugar, blood pressure, urine protein, and kidney function. Be aware. Get tested. The life you save may be your own. For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org.
Uh-huh.